Alright, so I'm on the way home from work and just wanted to have a little, discussion with myself. With y'all, if you want to comment, feel free to. Anyway, last night I think it was, one of the guys in the band I'm with had posted some pictures of some bracelets and necklaces and stuff like that he's been making, and asked us what we thought. We got to talking about it, and I think they're pretty cool looking. I think that people like them, but whatever. That being said, the comment was made by one of the other guys in the band that he liked them, except for the one that's got Jesus on the cross, because one of the necklaces he made looks like, an old Catholic crucifix almost. It's a beaded type necklace, and at the bottom it's got a cross with Jesus on it. And he said that, the other guy said, well, I don't know if I really like that one. And the guy who was making him agreed. He was like, yeah, I don't really like him very much either. And I kind of agreed too, and that was the end of the conversation, right? Well, today, while I was at work, I got to thinking about it, and that whole train of thought we had, and I wondered, why don't we like it? What about that image perturbs us? Because it is a classic traditional image of Christianity from, way on back when, right? Catholics to this day carry a rosary with a crucifix. If you go into a Catholic or Catholic-like church, you're quite likely to see a huge cross with a huge Jesus on it, a big crucifix. Now, if you go into one of your more Protestant denominations, a Baptist church or whatever, you're still likely to see a big cross, right? But the chances are there'll be nothing on the cross. It will not be a traditional crucifix with Jesus' body on it. It'll just be the cross, empty. And so I've been thinking about that today, and I think I sort of know why it just kind of bothers me anyway. Maybe it's not the reason it bothers the other guys. It doesn't really bother me. It's just when I see it, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really catch my interest, right? And I think the reason is because if you look at the history of the Catholic faith, don't get all up in arms if you're a Catholic and you're not like this, but for a lot of Catholics, the faith is about the sacraments and the confession and the stuff you can do and saying your Hail Marys and all these different things that sort of earn you your forgiveness, right? Now, that's not what they call it necessarily, but that's kind of what it's like. And so, in a sense, they've still kind of got Jesus on that cross. Because if you've still got to say your Hail Marys and do all this different stuff to, pay your debt, I guess he's still paying it, right? Now, I'm sure that's not what the Catholics who wear the crucifixes are thinking, but it kind of makes sense in a way, right? But those of us of a less Catholic, less liturgical background, let's say, I think we focus more on the resurrection and what that means, because the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, according to Paul, is what gives our faith meaning. Without that resurrection, our faith would be dead. As dead as the guy in the grave. But because he is risen, our faith lives. And I think that's why a lot of Protestant, at least Christians, and plenty of other ones too, don't get me wrong, but I think that's why when I let's forget it. I'm not going to generalize. I'm going to say what for me. When I see a crucifix with Jesus' body on the cross, that's what sort of now that I've thought about it some, that's kind of what's going through my head. So that's why I think I pretty much always would rather see an empty cross. Because guess what? He's not on that thing anymore. He's not. It's done. It's complete. So, as we get ready to go into Easter, just some food for thought, I guess. As we get ready to go into Easter and celebrate that resurrection, let's focus on that. Let's focus on what that means for us and our faith. Let's focus on the good news that Christ is risen. And I just did all that talking. And I'm not quite home yet. So, well, that's really all I got. That's kind of the end of my train of thought. So I'm going to let y'all go. And I'll talk to y'all next time. And y'all have a great Easter. Peace.